Hey there everyone, welcome back. We are going to do some PokeRadar RNG. This one's only really applicable to XY, but just a little bit brief rundown on it. So the PokeRadar works whenever you use it. You can use it from the bag or you can set it as a registered item, and it will create a whole bunch of different shaky spots where if you walk into, you'll encounter a Pokemon. And if you keep every time you beat that Pokemon or catch it, the process repeats, and you can create a very large chain. And the higher the chain goes, the better the stats of the Pokemon you find, and the increased chance that you'll find a patch that is guaranteed to be a shiny Pokemon. But you could just discard all that and get a shiny patch with a chain of 1. We're using TinyFinder and 3DS RNG tool. So let's just get into that. Don't need the tool yet, but we do need TinyFinder. So I'm connected via NTR helper. So even though I don't have it yet, I displayed it there. Make sure that you first off are not on using your stick or anything. You need to use a D-pad for this, or else you'll mess it up. You'll lose the PokeRadar. And so first off, you can TinyFinder, you can get your calibrate everything. Make sure you're using radar, which is again only XY. If you're using NTR helper, it will tell you what your chain length is, so that's handy. I'm at 0 because I haven't used it. Now, if you're at 0, update my party is only 5. Okay, if you're at 0, you can select a slot. So in this one, I set it to 6 to do a frou-frou, but for purposes of this, I'm not going to bother. So we're just going to go ahead and we'll use our PokeRadar. That's not our PokeRadar. We'll just go ahead and use our PokeRadar. There we go. Alright, so we just encounter whatever we find here. This is what we're gonna farm for. Alright, and it's a Skiddo! So we're just gonna go ahead and kill this real fast, because I have no interest in the non-shiny Pokemon. And we're just going to overkill it. Alright, so at this point, you're going to want to recharge your PokeRadar. So ignore all these patches and just run around until we get it fully charged. Oh yeah, and also make sure you're using repels, because you do not want to get into an encounter. Alright, I think this is probably good enough. So I'm going to hop in the bag right now. And I'm going to bring up our tool here. Okay, great. So now, update. Now you see that we have a chain length of 1. So we're going to have to update the tool. Chain length of 1. So this closes out the slot thing. Because now if you generate, now this is displaying all the indexes that would create a shiny patch. So this is great because when it comes to PokeRadar, you actually have it twice. The patch is determined by the TinyMT, but the stats are determined by when you encounter that Pokemon. So if you get a shiny patch, you can then stand in front of it until you get the stats you want. Now let's bring up 3DS RNG tool just real fast for this. So obviously, well, first off, that's way too many. But if you put in your filters there, go back to defaults here, you can see that if you put a chain length of 1, nothing really happens. But if you had, like, for instance, a chain length of 31, you get a whole bunch more guaranteed IVs. So, it's still worth it to possibly chain a little bit, but we're just gonna manipulate the RNG into our favor here to get a shiny patch. Not worrying too much about the stats. So, in hiding the 3DS RNG tool now. So we go back here. Music M, this would only happen if you have that crazy background music. Generally, don't pay attention to these. So we look at 1945, 1947. That many advances will get us a patch that's shiny. And you can double click it. If you double click it, you see how this part up here updates. This will show the layout of where, if your character is here, this is where the shiny patch will be. I don't know exactly what the B, X is. I think the X. I'm pretty sure X would be not. It's like a false patch. If you walked into it, you would just break your chain. G is probably just some. I don't know. But S, shiny. So it would be all the way in the upper left. Then again, it's also not hard to spot. So we have to get 1900 advances. Luckily, there's a way to do that. That's not too bad. So we're going to exit out of the bag here. And we're going to load up Pokemon Me. And you can see here that my TinyMT has just completely gone insane at this point. And yeah, that's one of the great things. If you need to advance a lot of times, you can use that. So let's go ahead and do a quick get out of PSS and go back into the bag. So we freeze our TinyMT, and we'll go ahead and click update. Okay, we still got 1,000 to go. It's not so bad. We'll go back out, and we'll sit here for a little bit. And then once we get closer, then there's some ways to be a little bit safer about this. In the bag, which I went over in my other videos. Alright, 544. That's not so bad. So I only have a party of 5. So remember, using the EXP share is 3 times your number of party members. Again, I only have 5, so this would be 15 advances every single time I do that. So I'm just going to bring up my calculator real fast so that I know how many times I can safely do this. 544 divided by 15. 36 times. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and do that real fast. Okay, so I went ahead and I jumped a whole bunch using EXP share, and now we've only got to go 4 more advances, so for that we're just going to give a Hyper Potion to a Lucario. Alright, so that should jump us up 3 more times. Perfect. Alright, now we just have to go 1 more time, and for that we have the good old-fashioned Return TM. And yeah, we want to go to the summary screen here, which advances, and we're done. So let's go ahead and compare our TinyMT on the screen to what we have for the index, and it looks right. And again, we'll click update. So there you go. So you can see, so now if we use our PokeRadar from the bag, because we have use from bag checked, which is how I recommend doing it anyways. Use from bag checked, and we have our party chain. Everything is all set. We know that the shiny patch is going to be all the way in the upper left compared to where we are. So let's just go ahead and do this. So I'm just going to go ahead and hide the TinyFinder so you can see all of my screen. Let's do this. And you see it. Did you see it? All the way up here. There was a little sparkle as that patch appeared. So now, I'm just going to pause here and bring up 3DS RNG tool. I said I wasn't going to worry too much about the stats, but I want to prove that you can also RNG the stats as well. So first off, this is going to be a nice shiny Skiddo, and let's see, our frame right now is 45588, and I'm going to leave the delay as what it was. Hey, that's actually not bad. All right, so we're going to target this. And we'll see if we get it. The delay is usually pretty good, but here we are, 4588. I'm gonna hold up because up will walk me into the patch. Remember, use the D-pad and hit A. Oh, I was a little off. I was 2 steps off. We'll figure out where we actually hit. But there you go. See, that is a nice shiny Skiddo. Now, unfortunately, when you catch something with Poke, when you find something via PokeRadar, you can't see its stats if you're using PCalc. So yeah, I messed up its stats a little bit, but we'll go ahead and we're going to catch it real fast, and we'll figure out where we actually hit, but it obviously was not where we were shooting for. Yeah, of course, he doesn't want to get in the ball. Anyways, the important thing is, while I try to catch this, is that you can do this with any chain length besides 0. If you're at 0, you won't get a shiny patch, but if you're at chain length of 1 or higher, you can use the TinyMT manipulation to guarantee a shiny patch, and then you can use 3DS RNG tool to manipulate the stats of it. So you can get a pretty strong Pokemon if you get a high enough chain, you can get guaranteed 3 IV shiny Pokemon. So that is pretty sweet. And this Skiddo does not want to get in its ball. It's not a very friendly guy. But that's all I've got. Well, if you have any questions, just hit me up in Discord. I'm more than happy to answer them. And yeah, I'll be doing some more Gen 6 RNG because with TinyFinder, again, special thank you to Bambo Rambo, because this made things so much simpler. But yeah, thanks to TinyFinder, this is actually very, very doable. And I don't want to nickname Skiddo. Get out of here. I'm just going to go work up stats real fast so we can just determine exactly what we got. Alright, Party Pokemon 6 is a Skiddo, which is obviously shiny, which we knew. And let's see, its IVs 22, 29, 24, 7, 11, 22. Yeah, alright, there we are, right here. So we were off by 16 frames, but that's because we took 2 steps. But there you go. That's all there is to it. So I will catch you all next time. We'll do some more RNG. It'll be great. You know what I haven't done yet for Gen 6? Eggs. Everyone loves a good egg. So stick with me and I will show you my recipe next time. Take it easy.